across the Lone Star State continues for the Twins this afternoon as they open up a 3-game series against the defending national champion Houston Astros inside Minute Maid Park. Mitch Garver is back in the starting lineup for the Twins, looking to keep his hot streak on the road alive this afternoon. Since August 7th, he's hitting .324, 4 of his hits for extra bases, and 8 runs driven in for Minnesota. Meanwhile, the Astros have their eyes set on a repeat title, and their chances are looking pretty good. They sit atop the AL West, 2.5 games up on Oakland, and an impressive 31 games above 500. Happy Labor Day, everyone, and welcome to Minute Maid Park. I'm Audra Martin. Yesterday's finale against the Texas Rangers could not have gone much worse for Minnesota, but as Paul Molitor pointed out, one of the best things about baseball is that you don't have to wait too long for the next challenge. And for his team today, that's going from taking on the last place Rangers to the first place Houston Astros. And here's a few things to keep in mind for the upcoming series. It's been nearly 5 months since these two teams went head-to-head. Despite being out-hit, the Twins took 2 out of 3 in this series, including a win that handed Dallas Keuchel his shortest outing of the season. Jake Cave continues to take advantage of regular playing time. He's hitting .455 against the Rangers in the last series, crushing a home run in each of those 3 games. He's now into double digits on this season, including 6 home runs in his last 13 games. But Cave and the Twins have their hands full in Houston. The Astros have the 3rd best record in the big leagues, thanks in large part to their pitching staff, whose ERA and strikes to walk ratio is the best in all of baseball. Today, it's Kyle Gibson and Dallas Keuchel going to work in Game 1. Dick Bramer and LaTroy Hawkins break down the Labor Day matchup coming up next.
Twins baseball on Fox Sports North is presented by CenturyLink, connecting you to the power of the digital world. By Sanford Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, for the everyday competitor in all of us. And by Northland Ford. Visit buyfordnow.com and your local Northland Ford dealer today. For the Twins, it'll be Kyle Gibson in game one of the three-game series. Gibson has been Minnesota's most consistent starting pitcher. Dallas Keuchel right now for the Houston Astros, pitching about as well as he ever has. He's had a tale of 2 seasons going, but his last 12 starts have been very good. He'll make the start in the opener for Houston. And we welcome you indoors. Rainy weather outside, no problem playing indoors here at Minute Maid Park. Dick Bramer along with LaTroy Hawkins. It has been a good year for Kyle Gibson, who picked up where he left off last year and has continued to give the Twins a real good chance to win just about every time out.
Well, he's definitely been consistent all year long. It started back last year after the demotion to AAA, but he has all his pitches going this year. He's very confident and able to repeat his mechanics. April is 4.29 ERA. Highest ERA was in the month of August with a 5.28, and I'm looking forward to him tonight, just giving this Houston Astros offense a heavy dose of sinkers so he can keep the ball on the ground and out of the air, and that's the way he's going to be successful today.
The Astros, of course, won the World Series last year and are leading their division again this year, mainly because of tremendous starting pitching. You know that coming into a series, you're going to run into some really good starting pitching, and today it'll be Dallas Keuchel for Houston.
Dallas Keuchel, Mr. Consistency himself. Like you said, a tale of 2 seasons. Last 2 starts, he's 1-1 with a 4.25 ERA. You throw that out the window because when he has his sinker going, when his sinker is at his best, he's at a 60+% ground ball rate. And if he can keep the ball on the ground, it's going to be a long day for our Minnesota Twins hitters also.
Last couple times the Twins have faced Keuchel, they've handled him fairly well. We'll see what happens here in the opener, see if they can continue to run up Keuchel's pitch count on their way to a win against the defending world champs. Minnesota, they'd like to have a good series here. But before we get started, a word about our blue plaid Blazers. It's not true that there was a buy one get one free in Dallas and I bought mine and you got yours free. There's no truth to that rumor. But
great minds think alike. Let's leave it at that.
Well, the Twins have scored some runs on this road trip, enough to win more than the 2 games that they have won. They took 1 game in Cleveland, 1 game in Texas. See how they will fare here against the Astros. And here's the Menards batting order for the opener. I can't use that term anymore. For the series opener, Joe Mauer leading things off. Then Logan Forsythe, Jorge Polanco, Mitch Garver, Robbie Grossman, Miguel Sano down to 6th. Jake Cave, Tyler Austin, and Johnny Field.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats brought to you by Home Furniture. Dallas Keuchel, Mr. Consistency, as we spoke about earlier. 28th start, featuring a fastball, 88 to 91 miles an hour, sinker preferably most of the time, trying to get those right-hand hitters out front so they can beat the ball into the ground. He's 1-1 with a 4.82 in his last 3 starts, and the Twins hitters have had some success against Mr. Keuchel.
Northland Ford defense for the Houston Astros. Tony Kemp in left field, George Springer's in center, Josh Reddick in right, Alex Bregman at third, Carlos Correa at short, Marwin Gonzalez at second, Jose Altuve getting the day off, or at least the starting assignment off. Yuli Gurriel at first base, and Brian McCann's been back on the lineup for a few days. He's back behind the plate. Yeah, the Twins have had some success against Keuchel. His last 2 starts against the Twins, lasting 4 1/3 and 4 innings. He's walked 9 men in his last 2 starts against the Twins. They've waited him out. They've gotten into deep counts. They've run his pitch count up, and that's why he was unable to complete 5 innings in each of his last 2 starts. Now, one of those starts was earlier this year at Target Field. The other one was 2 years ago. Well, 1 strike to Mauer.
Keuchel's the type of pitcher, if he's not getting that pitch, that borderline pitch on the corner, especially to right-hand hitters, and the umpire make him have to come just over the plate just a little bit more, that's when he's gonna not be successful. But if he's gonna get that pitch, that borderline pitch, then it's going to be a long day for the hitters.
Keuchel can't find it. Now he recovers, but not in time. Mauer will get a leadoff infield hit. Keuchel reached for it. The ball came out of the webbing of his glove, and he looked behind him and then found the ball toward the third baseline.
It's a sinker to Joe Mauer with a lot of top spin. Keuchel had to jump and get that ball, and he knocked it down. And you know, you do that drill in spring training, and you have to find it and get it and throw it. And you know, just one of those situations where he wasn't able to retrieve the ball in time to get a speedy Mauer at first base.
Speedy Mauer, you like that? The Twins have had some success against Keuchel. Logan Forsythe hasn't been a part of that, but he's put together good numbers against Keuchel. 7 hits in 20 at bats. Outside, ball 1.
Tonight's BP bridal picture. Logan Forsythe.
Triple, 1 run batted in, 7 hits and 20 at bats. And now outside again. Keuchel at Target Field gave up 6 hits, 4 walks, 3 earned runs in 4 innings. (3-0), and then his prior start was here in early May back in 2016. Kind of the same story with 5 walks, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, and he only lasted 4 1/3 innings. He's given up an infield hit. Now he's fallen behind Forsythe. 3-0 down the middle of strike.
Keuchel's added a pitch to his repertoire, and that's that 4-seam fastball elevated in the strike zone. We talked about how the guys with the swinging with the launch angle, and you can't get to that pitch, and he's added that over the last couple of years.
And ball 4. Maybe. Here we go again. An infield hit for Mauer. Now a walk to Forsythe, and that'll bring up Polanco. Keuchel's 29th start of the year. First 14 a little shaky. The final 14 have been really, really good. And the Astros, of course, are so deep in quality starting pitching. Twins will see Verlander tomorrow. They'll miss Garrett Cole. He pitched yesterday. Here is Polanco, and the Twins have a chance to break out on top. Polanco takes low, ball 1.
You have some workhorses in the starting rotation. ERA, team ERA at 3, starting rotation ERA at 3.13.
One and 0 to Polanco. That's flared to right center field, and making a tumbling catch is Josh Reddick. That ball looked like it was going to drop, and Reddick closed on it in a hurry. Great catch by the Houston right fielder. And that'll bring up Mitch Garver.
Polanco with this little flare out to right field, and Josh Reddick came in and made a very good play on that ball. The runners had to freeze, go halfway, get the concentration, seeing the ball right into the glove.
A little barrel roll at the end. 2 on, 1 down, and now Mitch Garver.
Leadoff base hit, a walk, and you get the pop up right there. And now he's 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning.
Yeah. So what Garver can say about that. And a first pitch strike. Garver, like so many of the right-handed batters for the Twins, having a very difficult time against left-handed pitching this year. Garver hitting just 193 against lefties. And he takes strike 2.
Good 0-1 changeup from Keuchel. A couple of ways he can go at Garver to get him out right here. You go back to the changeup, out of the zone, a cutter in, or throw that sinker, which is his best pitch, down and away.
Time called. Mitch taking 2 strikes, and he should be a really confident hitter with 2 strikes, because he's probably got the best 2-strike approach Twins hitters have this side of Joe Mauer. He's not afraid to get to 2 strikes because he's still had a lot of productive at bats with 2 strikes. This one bounced foul.
I think as a hitter, the more you start to mature and understand it and not panic when you're down in the count, you can do some real damage. Just being able to sit there down in the count and wait for your pitch to hit, and wait for the pitcher to make a mistake. And a lot of times hitters get 2 strikes and they just completely throw out their game plan and get themselves out.
2 strikes. Tapper left side. They'll get 1. Safe at first. The inning continues. A slow chopper to Correa. He couldn't quite turn 2. We'll see if the Astros challenge it. A.J. Hinch has a hand out of the dugout, and we will play on. First and third, 2 down.
There's that changeup fading down and away. Garver wasn't able to keep his hands back, so he got around that ball. Almost a tailor-made double play, 6-4-3, but it just hit just a little too slow.
So now 2 down, 2 on, and here is Houston native Robbie Grossman. Grossman came through the Astros system. He takes down and away, ball 1. Robbie's picked it up quite a bit in the second half as he averaged up to 259. Strike on the outside corner. Grossman, a 251 big league hitter coming into the year with 1,380 at bats.
This is that pitch I talk about that if he's getting it, it's going to be a long night for Twins hitter. But if he's not, then he has to come over the middle of the plate, and that's when the damage happens.
And I think that's exactly what we've seen in Keichel's last 2 starts against the Twins. The one earlier this year at Target Field and the one 2 years ago here. 2-1 to Grossman. Twins trying to get the first run of the game here in the game's first inning. And now 3-1 with Sano waiting on deck. Everything's been away to Grossman. And he does have a big hole through the right side of the infield with Gonzalez, the second baseman, standing in the outfield grass. And of course, Gurriel holding the runner at first.
Right-hand hitters can resist the urge to hit that ball or pull that pitch. If they can hit that pitch to the opposite field, they have a better chance. But Keichel's success comes from that down and away fast sinker, and right-hand hitters trying to pull that ball, and it's either a lazy ground ball to shortstop or to third base.
which sets the stage for this at bat. Miguel Sano. We'll see how he handles Keuchel's stuff. The base is loaded and 2 down.
My pick to click this series.
Really?
Miguel Sano.
Okay. I hope you're right, starting with this at bat.
I didn't even see him in the clubhouse to talk enough trash to him to make that call, but let's go.
Taken low, ball 1. Have no idea whether the Twins are going to get anything out of this. Keuchel unhappy with Laz Diaz's strike zone here in the early going. But this is exactly what we've seen the Twins hitters do to Keuchel in his last 2 starts. Take a strike.
Elevate that pitch count.
Lay off the borderline pitches.
That's the key.
And there's a ground ball to third. And that ends in. Sano taps out, and the Twins leave the bases full in the first. Astros for several years to come, and good reason why. Done a great job getting the Astros through the playoffs and a World Series championship a year ago. Here is the Houston Menards batting order. George Springer leading off. Tony Kemp, Alex Bregman, Carlos Correa, Marwin Gonzalez, Yuli Gurriel, Brian McCann, Evan Gattis, and Josh Reddick.
Tonight's starting pitcher stats are brought to you by Home Furniture. Kyle Gibson, 27 start, 3-1 with a 3.74 in 6 starts, previous starts versus the World Series champion Houston Astros.
Coming off a couple of disappointing starts. First pitch hammered down the right field line. Foul. Strike 1, just a strike. And Springer jumped on the first pitch and nearly put the Astros up right away.
Well, we know that George Springer, he's an ambush king leading off the game because he has a few leadoff home runs.
Gibson had arguably his worst start of the year back in early April at Target Field against the Astros. 4 1/3 innings, 7 hits, 5 earned runs. He walked 4. It was a very, very cold day. 1 strike now to Springer. Springer 0 for 6 with 3 walks against Gibson.
For 0 for 7.
Down and in, 1-1. Gibson's last 2 starts totaling 10 innings, 9 earned runs. Gave up 3 home runs in a game to the White Sox in Chicago 2 starts ago. Career high in home runs allowed. One of his strengths has been keeping the ball in the ballpark this year. So that one really stood out.
key to keeping the ball in the ballpark is pitching down in the zone. Using that good sinker, making the guys hit the ball on the ground.
Like that. Polanco charges and fires one away. Springer is retired. That'll bring up Tony Kemp. Northland Ford defense for the Twins. Robbie Grossman's in left. We don't expect to see Eddie Rosario at all in this series. Jake Cave in center. Johnny Field getting right field. The lefty going. Max Kepler starts the game on the bench. Sano, Polanco, Forsythe, Mauer, the infielders, and Mitch Garver back behind the plate. Tony Kemp, the batter. Delivers strike one. Kemp taking over in the second spot in the batting order. A.J. Hinch a few games ago flip-flopping Alex Bregman and Jose Altuve, but with Altuve out of the lineup today, Kemp is hitting second. There's pitch down and away, 1-1.
Bregman had a monster year.
He waits on deck. And now 2-1. Gibson's last two starts, again totaling 10 innings, and he threw 208 pitches in those innings. So one of the issues for him was elevated pitch count, deep counts, flip foul, 2-2. But within a disappointing month of August, a couple of really good starts. Well, actually both of them against the Tigers. 7 innings each, 1 run allowed in one, 3 in the other, and he kept the ball in the ballpark against the Tigers. He had a great April, of course, despite his start against the Astros. Pitched to an ERA of 3.33 and gave up 1 home run in 27 innings in April. Missing inside 3-2.
Through the course of a season, the starting pitcher, you're going to get 30 to 32, 33 starts. It's just going to be that 1 month or those 4 or 5 starts where you just I don't care what you try to do, is not going to be right, and they're going to hit the ball like they know what's coming. And you're going to have to just regroup.
On the ground firmly to Polanco, but Mauer 2 down. A couple of ground ball outs and a good sign for Gibson here in the first.
A pizza ranch for the win. Turning the page, like Paul Molitor said in the pregame. The great thing about baseball, you got a quick turnaround, you get to do it again the next day. And Twins pitchers controlling the inside part of the plate. Let's not see what a lot that we saw over the weekend, where hitters are just up there very, very comfortable, swinging for the fences on every pitch.
Here is Bregman, the new third-place hitter for the Astros, because he is, as LaTroy said, having a great year. And a first pitch strike. And the Twins gave up 32 runs in the 3-game series in Arlington. And they're facing a much tougher lineup here in this series.
I think the beauty about baseball, any team can be pitched to on a given day. On that given day. And the worst team in the major leagues can go out there and beat your brains in.
Yankees have had a terrible time in the last week with the Tigers and the White Sox. And I always say this about this time of the year. When we get into August, you'll hear people talking about comparing strength of schedules and all that, and more often than not, it just doesn't mean a thing. The teams that have struggled in the first 4 or 5 months of the year are playing loosey-goosey in September, and they're just having a great time taking on the teams that are going to end up in the playoffs. And the Twins now unfortunately find themselves in the latter category, where they're going to be on the outside looking in come playoff time.
You get to play the spoiler.
Yeah. 2-1 to Bregman. Line sharply to left, up and gone. A home run. Number 28 for Alex Bregman. Astros get the first run. He's now reached in 31 straight games. That's the longest active streak in the big leagues.
fastball right down Broadway. Oh, slider. Hanging right over the middle of the plate. So line drive missile out of the ballpark.
Measured at 369 feet.
It was loud, too.
Here is Correa. Foul back, a strike. Astros have led the division almost all year long. They've recently, of course, been pursued by Oakland. Unfortunately, the A's don't have any more games left with Houston. And Houston won the season series 12 games to 7. Fouled off a leg. 2 strikes. But the Astros have won 9 of their last 12, and they have the same record at this point of the year that they had last year when they won the World Series. They're 84 and 53.
A 2.5 game lead over Oakland A's.
2 strikes to Correa.
Had a chance to go to Game 7 in the World Series in LA last year with my family. Great time. First time we had ever all watched a baseball in a baseball stadium together, a Major League Stadium
really?
together. First time ever. Game 7 last year.
Picked a good one to go to. 1-2.
I usually don't keep many things because I say you start keeping things, you start getting clutter. But since I can keep it on my phone, I kept my tickets in my wallet.
Sano fires across. 3 ground ball outs and a bullet to left for Bregman. It's 1-0 Houston after 1. Now he's third, and Jake Cave will hit for the Twins with Bregman's home run, giving the Astros a 1-0 lead. Cave has been the Twins' best hitter on this road trip.
Swinging a very hot bat right now. Like you said, he's making pitchers pay for making mistakes up in the zone against him. He's taking really tough at bats. Like you said, he's putting himself in good hitters count so he can do the damage that he's done so far on this road trip.
Something has happened to Tony Kemp. He bounced out and now is out of the ball game. Or excuse me, Marwin Gonzalez is out of the ball game. So we'll get that all reset with Tyler White in at first base, and Gurriel's moved to second base in place of Marwin Gonzalez. Cave checks his swing, no swing, and it is 1-1. Gonzalez, of course, never even batted in that first inning. Cave bounces it up the line foul, hit his leg apparently. And it's 1-2. Cave not lighting the world on fire against lefties. Hitting under 200, but he's done some damage. He's hit 3 home runs. Also has a double, 10 runs batted in against lefties. Fouled away. Hit a home run in all 3 games in the Texas series. Mixed in a double and a single and has the season average up to 268. It'll be Cave, Austin, and Field.
Swinging a hot bat. Just got to get him up there with some runners in scoring position.
Just outside. Strike 3. As Cave takes a ball to the track, 1 down. That'll bring up Austin. You can see Tyler Austin has enjoyed the opportunity with increased at bats, playing time, and the batting average reflecting that. 34 games for the Yankees and 8 home runs, just 17 games for the Twins and 7 home runs. And a strike on the outside corner.
You could tell with Tyler Austin, he's a guy that has to be in there on a regular basis so he can get it, keep his timing where it needs to be, so he can do the type of damage that he's done since his trade over to the Minnesota Twins.
Fastball up, fouled it back. That's the pitch I think that you were talking about, that 4-seamer that stays at or just a little above the strike zone, and he's gotten a lot of swings and misses and foul balls on it.
Tyler Austin, he saw the ball was elevated. He couldn't hold the trigger, but he understands that could possibly be the only pitch in this at bat that he gets to hit.
And in the count now, or excuse me, 1-1 is the count, and now a foul ball, 1-2.
And that's the cutter with the inside hands of a right-hand hitter, that also another weapon that Keuchel features.
Count is 0-2. Thought the first pitch was called a strike, and now there's a little confusion. The scoreboard in the ballpark here had 1 and 2 as well. It still does. The count is 0-2 thanks to Laz Diaz's clarification there. And now inside a ball. I told you before the game, Laz Diaz is one of my favorite umpires. I think he's one of the better ball and strike umpires in the league, and you had to pitch to him and you concurred.
Yeah, he's a great umpire, an even better boxer. When I hear Laz Diaz's name, I think about the guy in Chicago, right? Came out, the fan came out on the field, and
oh yeah,
I think about that all the time.
2-2.
Very good umpire, consistent.
And Austin gets time and backs out of the box. In the first inning, the Twins got an infield hit and 2 walks, but Keuchel was able to get Sano to end the threat. And now there is a pitch outside, and it's another 3-ball count. With Field on deck. Tap to the right side. Gurriel scoops and gets Austin by half step, 2 down. Gurriel was on the third base side of second base, but he scooted to his left, made the play, 2 away. And now Johnny Field.
5 hitters in this, 5 outs so far in this game. Keuchel's done exactly what he's been known to do, and that's keep the ball on the ground.
If we get word as to why Marwin Gonzalez came out of the game, we'll let you know. He was only involved in 1 play in the top of the first, and that was the pivot on the double play attempt. Strike 1. Keuchel working way over on the third base side of the pitching rubber. driven foul down the right field line into the seats. And another 0-2 count.
He's done a very good job so far getting to 0-2. Hadn't been able to put guys away as fast as he would like, but he's gotten 0-2 pretty quick.
Dug out by Bregman. And a 1-2-3 second inning for Dallas Keuchel.
This is the #1 series he's been looking forward to the most all season long. Part of that is because he's never been to Texas. Of course, I've never been to this ballpark, but he says you never really know how good you are until you get to face the best, and he admits he's relieved that he doesn't have to navigate Tal's Hill out there in center field. Ryan Presley was all smiles catching up with former teammates and Twin staff members today. He says he'll always love Minnesota, but feels really at home with the Astros and in his role as their premier setup guy. There's a little trash talking in the clubhouse today because tonight is the Twins' annual fantasy football draft. Jake Odorizzi will get things started while poor Trevor Hildenberger drew the last pick. Guys.
Tyler White will lead off the second inning. He's taking a strike now, a ball. And Audra mentioned Tal's Hill that's been taken away here. It used to be extended out in center field when you pitched here. You were with the Astros for a year and a half. They're still in the National League back then, right?
Correct.
And they had a hill out in center field, and they took care of that a couple of years ago. It was kind of a death trap for center fielders out there. The flagpole was out there, and I think everybody's relieved that that's no longer there.
Never could figure out why would you put a hill in center field, but
it's a nod to what Crosley Field had a hill out in center field long time ago. 2-1. Tyler White, and foul back 2-2. Hey, yeah, when you pitched here, the Astros were still in the National League, but what kind of teams did you have in 08 and 09?
Traded over in 08
from
the Yankees, correct. And we went on a playoff push. We were playing really good baseball. Then the hurricane hit Houston, and we had to play we couldn't play our home games here against the Cubs, so they moved the home games to Milwaukee, and we got no hit.
Punch to right field, a leadoff hit for White. He's been really hot since the All-Star break, and he opens the second inning with a base hit. Of course, last year this area ravaged by Hurricane Harvey, and they are honoring here this series the first responders who responded and did so much. About a year ago, this area was just torn apart by Hurricane Harvey. Here is Gurriel. started the game at first base, and now he's playing second base. I would guess that the move that was made with Marwin Gonzalez, and we were told during the inning break it was oblique discomfort, which is kind of an ominous thing, to be honest with you. Sometimes those things can nag for quite a while, but the fact that Altuve did not come off the bench strongly suggests that they're going to try to give him a complete day off here today.
He just came out of August, 1st of September. You know, if you can give your regular guys a day off here and there, it only could do wonders for the team down the stretch.
Altuve has been dealing with some knee discomfort. 1-1 from Gibson to Gurriel. Gibson got 3 ground ball outs in the first inning. Can take care of White's single with a firm ground ball hit at somebody. 2-1. Down and away a ball. 3-1.
3-1, good hitters count. Gonna make a good pitch right here to be able to try to induce a double play.
At the inside corner. 3-2.
That's a real inside pitch. The 3-1 fastball. You get the ball close to him, which is borderline strike, and Lash called it a strike. So if you go back, you double up inside, or go back away, try to get the punch out.
White goes, and the pitch popped up, and it'll reach the seats.
Tyler White and Evan Gaddis kind of look like relatives.
Gaddis has a stolen base. White doesn't have one yet.
He's working on it, I guess.
Full count. There's Gaddis. White is 0 for 1 in situations like this. And we've seen Gibson become more of a strikeout pitcher this year as well. White goes. Sharply hit. And off the sleeve of Polanco and into center field. Polanco had it hit right at him, and even with White going, they would have had a chance for a double play. Instead, it's an error, and the Astros will have runners at first and third. Teams didn't field the ball well, didn't play good defense at all in Texas.
It's a good fastball down and in. Hit the ball pretty hard with Tyler, running on the pitch. Still had a chance to for a 6-4-3 double play, and the ball just rolled up Polanco's arm and into center field.
Brian McCann with runners at first and third. Twins will play the infield back here. Down and in, a ball.
That's Polanco's third error so far this road trip.
And had arthroscopic surgery on his right knee in early July. Trying to get tuned up for the playoff run the Astros expect to be on. Down and in, 2-0.
We talk about good teams and trying to figure out a way to beat a good team. You cannot give them extra outs.
I think we said that in Cleveland too. It's just the good teams are good because there's no margin for error against them. You've got to make the plays in the field that are expected, and then maybe even mix in a few spectacular plays in the field if you're going to beat them. 2-0 to McCann, and now 3-0. Gaddis is on deck.
I'd like to go just a step further. Any major league team, 3 outs is all you need to give them, because when you start giving them 4 and 5 outs, they're going to figure out a way to score some runs. And it's, a lot of times it's going to be a crooked number.
3-0 Gibson to McCann. Swung on and missed, green lighted. It's good to see Jason Castro in the clubhouse today. Jason, of course, has had his own knee issues. Haven't seen him for a while, and in the clubhouse today and seemed to be moving around pretty well.
Had a chance to chat with him. He said therapy's going great. Just missing being on the field. He's been home with the family here in Houston.
He played here before signing with the Twins. Got a year left on his deal after this season. 3-1 to Brian McCann. Pulled foul, 3-2. This is where we've seen Gibson have the ability that he did not have before to get strike three. 153 strikeouts in 164 innings. One of the reasons the Astros have improved so much, they have drastically over the last couple of years cut down on their strikeouts.
The Houston Astros is one of the founding teams of the analytically savvy approach.
Driven to the corner. White will score. Gurriel to third. And they will hold him there. And McCann held to a single. A good at bat for McCann. Not only does Gibson not strike him out, he gives up an RBI single. 2-0 Houston. And that'll bring up Gaddis.
McCann didn't want to walk right there. It was 3-0. Fastball wasn't close. He took a big hack. He fought off another tough pitch to foul it off, and then he got him a pitch he can handle to drive down in the right field corner for an RBI single.
Gaddis hitting just .232, but 24 bombs. 71 runs batted in. And the Twins will play the infield back here.
Looking for the outs right here. Didn't hit the ball on the ground.
Out in front, strike one. Happer to Sano. They'll try to go around the horn. And they get the double play, but another run scores, and it's 3-0. Well, all 5 outs for Gibson, and the error that helped open up this inning, ball's beaten right into the ground. 3-0 Houston, and that'll bring up Josh Reddick.
Great job by Gibson being able to induce that double play, going for the outs. Sano made a good play at third. Threw it over to second. Completed the throw to first base over Joe Mauer.
That means 2 more unearned runs have scored on the Twins on this road trip. We probably use this term. Here's a little pop-up short center. And a nice running catch by Jake Cave to end the inning. We'll talk more about the length of the Houston lineup. It is in evidence in the second inning. They've added 2 more and lead 3-0. Keuchel, Verlander, Cole, and they hope to get a couple of components of the starting rotation back as well. As you look at our Sanford Health injury report, Charlie Morton with a shoulder issue, Lance McCullers with an elbow issue, and the Astros hope to get them back for the anticipated playoff run. Joe Mauer, Logan Forsythe, and Jorge Polanco here in the third inning facing Dallas Keuchel. Twins had him on the ropes in the first inning but left the bases full. Mauer got an infield hit. It's the only hit for the Twins so far this afternoon. Look at that. Starters. 3.20 ERA. Second most innings pitched. And Mauer with a rocket to center, and he has 2 hits against Keuchel. Leadoff man is on here in the third. That'll bring up Forsythe. Forsythe drew a walk his first time up. I want to wish everybody a happy Labor Day. It's always kind of a sad holiday for me because there are 3 major holidays during the baseball season, Labor Day being the last after Memorial Day and 4th of July. And it means that the baseball season's coming to a close. And I don't like that. Here's Forsythe. Strike one to Forsythe.
You don't like it?
No. I love the baseball season. Never like it when it ends. That's down the right field line, but foul by about 4 feet. And it's 0-2. Forsythe cracked his bat, looks like.
Dallas Keuchel has a real good arm speed on that changeup. That was that 0-1 pitch that Forsythe just fouled down the right field line. Looks just like a fastball. Same action as his 2-seamer. Sinking away. And that pitch makes his fastball look a lot harder than the 88 to 91 that it is. It makes it play 2, 3, 4 miles per hour faster than that.
Forsythe takes high. Can asking for the breaking ball. And Forsythe swings and misses. Forsythe checked with Blas Diaz. Was that in the box? Diaz said yes. 1 away.
The 1-2 cutter in on the hands of Forsythe. Looked like a fastball with some late action. He swung right up under that pitch. And that's a pitch that Keuchel was wanting the right-hand hitter to beat into the ground. It's like his changeup and his sinker that he throws.
1-0 to Polanco. Hit a fly ball to right. Looked like it was going to drop for a base hit, but Reddick made a nice play in the first inning. And then Polanco committed a very costly error in the bottom of the second. For Polanco, his 10th error in 53 ball games. So you take those numbers and multiply times 3, and that's a pace for way too many errors for a starting shortstop. Two 2-0, and now 3-0 with Garver on deck. And a belt high strike.
Keuchel's not going to give in. 3-0 count. He's going to come right after the guys.
It's to left center field. Plenty of time and room for Springer. 2 down. And we'll bring up Garver. Coming up Wednesday, September 12th, it's Minnesota Wild Night at Target Field. A limited number of Wild Theme Night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and a Twins Wild co-branded stocking cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/wild or call 800-33-TWINS. Garver bounced into a fielder's choice, hitting a ground ball to Correa in the first inning. Let's see if he gets to 2 strikes quickly again. Seems to be a habit for Garver. Nope, bounces it to short on the first pitch. Correa sets and fires. The Twins get a leadoff single from Mauer, leave him aboard, and still trail 3-0.
Well, the Dodgers back in sole possession of first place thanks to Matt Kemp's heroics last 2 nights. Last night, a walk-off double to take care of the Arizona Diamondbacks. That was his second walk-off hit in as many nights. The Dodgers at one point were trailing by 4.5 games back on August 23rd, but they've now won 8 of their last 9 to sit a half game up in the West Division. It's going to be quite a race out there, guys.
And it's a bad time for the Diamondbacks to win just 3 of their last 10 because now they're in 3rd place in the National League West. They've got races, really good ones, in all 3 National League divisions. And the wild card race is an interesting race in and of itself.
Well, Richard, keep an eye on those Rockies.
Yeah, they're just a half game back. George Springer will lead off the 3rd against Kyle Gibson. 3 runs for the Astros, 1 earned, 2 unearned. And Springer takes a strike.
Kitty can get back in a good rhythm, getting ahead of the hitters, and continue to make them hit the ball on the ground. Get the ball elevated, hitting it in air in this ballpark. Not many good things can happen. Gibson, 9 out of 10 first pitch strikes. We put a lot of emphasis on that first pitch strike. But once you get it, your work is not done. You got to continue to work. Got to continue to work.
Especially against this lineup, and when they were batting in the 2nd inning, we mentioned how deep it is, how long it is, and I think we talked about that when we were in Cleveland. But the Cleveland lineup has become that as well. When you get guys threats to do some damage, check swing, I think he went. Las Diaz agrees. When you get guys 1 through 9 that can do some damage, as the Astros have here, they got Reddick with 13 home runs. 8th place batter Gaddis has 24 home runs. Well, then you know you've got enough lineup, enough offense to support a mediocre pitching staff, and they've got much better than that here in Houston. Same thing. Check swing, strike 3, 1 down.
Gibson's first strikeout of the day.
Two really good sliders from Gibson right there. He started him off with a good fastball, strike one, and then he put him away with two sliders in the same spot. You can see that front hip of Springer just leaks just a little bit. Everything collapses. He wasn't able to hold up his swing.
One down. Now Tony Kemp bounced to short his first time up. Again, threatening to bunt and taking a ball. Did that in the first inning as well.
All right, looking at this lineup, they have a lot of pop. Bregman's hitting 292, the closest to 300, but they make you work. And if they don't get you enough pitches, take enough pitches out of your armor for the next guy to get you.
Two down. Kemp retired on a ground ball to Forsythe, and now Bregman, who hit a rocket into the Crawford boxes in left field. Didn't take long to get out. A line drive. StatCast AI powered by AWS.
Three consecutive games with a home run. Kid swinging the ball and bat very well. He's an all-star game MVP.
Ball one. Tomorrow the Twins will have an opener. And as you've seen here, the Astros are about as right-handed as the Rangers are left-handed in the top half of their lineup, assuming that Altuve's back in the lineup again tomorrow and hitting second. So Paul Molitor hinted today that the opener tomorrow won't be Gabriel Moya, left-hander, but instead it would be a right-hander. So everybody's guessing who it might be. The Twins will announce that after the game today. Announce it both to the Astros and presumably to the public. I have my guess. Who do you think the right-handed opener is going to be tomorrow for the Twins?
I had to go way out on a limb. It's a Hildenberger.
I think that they would prefer to keep Hildenberger and May towards the end in the event they have a lead. I think it's going to be Oliver Drake. Right-handers are hitting 130 against Drake. Left-handers are hitting 130 against Drake. So we'll see. And the hope is whoever it is will have a scoreless first and maybe even a second inning. And then Cole Stewart will take over. 3-1 to Alex Bregman.
Just trying to look up. Alex Bregman went to LSU.
Breaking ball misses and he takes a walk. He'll bring up Correa.
LSU destroyed Miami last night. Bregman worked the count to 3-1. And after what he did in his first at bat, Gibson wasn't going to throw him a 3-1 fastball. He opted to stay with the breaking ball. I walk him. I got another right-hand hitter with Carlos Correa on deck. Take my chances with him with an even count.
Correa bounced to third to end the first inning. And a strike. Correa's season has been or was derailed with lower back soreness. He missed 36 games. That's why his numbers are more modest than they would be. And a strike that covers the inside corner. 0-2.
The second time around the lineup. But Gibson is mixing in a few more breaking balls. And got to talk about Pete Saran for the win. Throwing some more fastballs in. Keep these hitters from diving over the plate, getting to that fastball or that breaking ball down and away.
And off the plate. 55th pitch for Gibson. He's moved along rather well, except for that second inning. Had to throw a lot of pitches, faced 5 batters. Air was committed behind him. Still got a double play grounder. 21 pitches in the second. Hoping to make a good one here and get his teammates off the field.
He did a good job after that error by Polanco to limiting the damage.
Way outside. Two and two.
First worked the count back even. It was 0-2. Got back even at 2-2.
Runner goes and the pitch grounded off of Morales in his chest. Still time to recover and fired a Mauer. That ends the third inning. On to the fourth with the Astros up 3-0. Jim Cott, who hit a lot of home runs in his big league career, hit the last home run for a Twins pitcher against the Indians. Vince Colbert was the pitcher. Twins won the ball game 5-3. And then yesterday, Chris Jimenez, who pitched the bottom of the 8th, did this in the top of the 9th. So yeah, I would put an asterisk by it if you'd like, but the fact of the matter is, a guy who was pitching for the Twins hit a home run for the first time since 1972. And somehow Chris Jimenez fits the profile to do something like that. That was about the only good moment in an otherwise miserable game for the Twins yesterday.
I chatted with Jimenez today about that, and I said, "You really going to claim that?" He said, "Oh, yes, I am. I'm claiming that home run, the pitcher's home run."
So when they catalog in Twins history all the Twins pitchers who hit home runs, a list that will not include Bert Blyleven, by the way, but it will include Jim Cott and Jim Perry and Mudcat Grant, some, great names in baseball history, and Chris Jimenez. So how about that?
It's a great name in baseball history. Chris Jimenez.
2-1 to Robbie Grossman, leading off the 4th inning.
Mudcat hit his in the World Series.
Yeah, but he hit some during the regular season,
yeah,
too. He hit a 3-run home run in Game 6 of the World Series. A blast to left center field. This ball's hit deep. Springer will chase it, hope for a bounce. It one-hops the wall. Grossman will hold up at second with a leadoff double. Grossman walked in the first inning. Enjoys his return home to Houston with a sharp double to the gap in left center.
Key to success against Dallas Keuchel,
getting him to elevate the ball. That fastball was elevated, which allowed Grossman to be able to put a really good swing on this and hit it over Springer's head in center field. Or stand-up double.
Here is Sano, left the bases full with a 2-hopper to third in the first inning. We'll see if Sano tries to work the right field side of the field. Players who, and there seems like for as long as I've been doing this, there's always been somebody like Dallas Keuchel, Jamie Moyer, same type of pitcher. You know, lefty would get a lot of hitters to try to pull the ball against him, but throw the pitches that can't be pulled. Mark Burley was another one. And so now we'll see if Sano maybe can keep that front shoulder in and drive the ball to right field. One strike. Outside. 1-1.
That first pitch to Sano right there was down, and he kind of check swung at it. Didn't look like he took a complete swing, and last didn't ask for help, and he gave him a strike. Make him get the ball up, Sano.
Fouled it back to the screen, and it's 1-2.
So if it's high, you let it fly. If it's low, you let it go.
Paul Molitor saying this morning that Sano's approach is still good. Figures that he's going to be somebody who's going to be, for as long as he's in the big leagues, a streaky hitter. He's just going through a bad streak right now. One at bat, one good at bat can get him turned around. 1-2. Oh, third strike, came back inside and wasn't in the box, but Laz Diaz called it a strike, 1 down.
It's just a dirty pitch, and he's called that for Kyle Gibson a couple times. He set Sano up with a couple pitches away, and then he pounded him in. It's a borderline pitch. Another punch out for Sano.
Cave was called out on strikes, leading off the second inning.
If you take something out of a strikeout, something positive. You know, when Sano goes look at his video, he's not gonna say, oh, you know, that was a terrible at bat. He's gonna say, you know what, I'm never gonna swing at that pitch because I know it's not a strike. I'm working on my pitch recognition and seeing the ball all the way, and I'm not gonna swing at that pitch because it's not a strike. And you take something from that, okay, you know, I'm seeing the ball well because I knew not to swing at that pitch. It was way too far inside, and if I do swing it, there's nothing I can really do with it.
1-0 to Cave. And if he looks at the video, he might say, well, I lost the at bat because I missed the changeup for strike 2. Another check swing and pitch in the dirt, 2-0.
I missed my one pitch that he gave me to hit.
Point Roy Smalley was making in Cleveland, how, you know, sometimes you strike out and it wasn't strike 3 that cost you the at bat. It was a pitch you missed earlier in the at bat, and I think that might be what Miguel would think after fouling that changeup to the backstop. 2-0 to Jake Cave. Twins trying to do something with Grossman's leadoff double. And a swing and a miss. 2-1. Not Jake's best swing there. All saying of Cave this morning that he thinks the swings and misses have been minimized significantly from earlier at bats with the Twins this year.
He's putting himself in good hitters count like this 2-1 pitch.
Pitch inside, and now 3-1. And the chances of Keuchel delivering a fastball here are probably no better than 50-50, even though the count's 3-1.
I'm going to say he's going to go a sinker down and away.
Inside with a fastball, got a swinging strike 2.
He set up, can't set up away, and the ball sunk back in on Cave's hand. Sitting up, down and away. It's a sinker. Did exactly what he wanted to do. He got the movement that he was looking for.
Full count to Cave. Austin on deck. Grossman at second base. Happer right side. Easy play for Gurriel, out number 2. Grossman goes to third. And before Austin's at bat, Twins fans, if you can't catch the games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app and take Fox Sports North and Twins baseball wherever you go. It's been a chronic problem for the Twins on this road trip, getting a leadoff double and not being able to get the run around to score. We'll see if Tyler Austin with 2 outs can get the job done. Infield pull shift for Austin. And now, before the first pitch, they're going to swing Gurriel over to where Austin hit the ball in his first at bat. That is tapped up the line, foul, 1 strike. Getting loose for the bottom of the 4th inning behind Sano.
Sano still has a little perplexed look in his eye, like, I can't believe he called that fastball in a strike.
1 strike to Austin. And now a ball. '65th pitch of the afternoon coming for Keuchel. High fly to left. Tony Kemp will wait a long time. Got the fly ball out to end the inning. Grossman left at third, and it's still 3-0.
Scoring started off this afternoon with a missile to left field over the wall for a home run. And then we have Brian McCann. Didn't want to take the walk. Was able to get a pitch he can handle and drill it down into the right field corner for a 2-run single. And that's the score, 3-0, Houston Astros.
And Gibson giving up 1 earned run, a couple of unearned runs through 3 innings, and he'll face here in the bottom of the 4th White, Gurriel, and McCann. And missing just a low ball 1. We mentioned before that when you pitched here for the Astros, they were still in the National League, and for some fans they might go, well, wait a minute, I only remember them as an American League team. But the swap was Houston was going to go to the American League and Milwaukee was going to go over to the National League.
Wasn't it with the sell of the, something with the sell of the team?
The team here.
Right, the Astros.
The ownership here needed to agree to a league change.
Right. Which put them in the American League West.
The same division as the Texas Rangers, so
They
for
wasn't
travel
too happy
purposes,
about
well, a lot of the fans weren't, but I think the significant issue also was commissioner at the time wanted to return Milwaukee back to the National League, as the Braves were back in the day. 2-1. Tap foul, 2-2.
Angels and Rangers, two teams that wasn't too happy to have Astros in the American League West.
Because
of the time. They already spent, with the time difference, they're already spending nine away games here. Late game start for their fans. You throw another team in there, and then it's 18 nights.
2-2 to White. High fly left center field. Cave is there, still on the outfield grass. One away. And it is grass here. I walked around on the field today. There wasn't batting practice. I don't know how they do it. It's a beautifully manicured field here, but the roof is closed most of the time. Now there's some sunlight that can stream in from behind the left field wall, but we were here early in the season last year and the roof was open. But boy, the number of times we've come here where the roof has been open either because of the rain or the heat is minimal, but yet they're able to grow beautiful grass in here. Deep to left. And Gurriel hits a home run to make it 4-0. Second home run hit by the Astros against Gibson, both solo home runs. Brinkman's in the first, and now Gurriel's in the fourth.
It's a breaking ball, first pitch breaking ball that hovered around the middle of the plate, and Gurriel was able to hit it out of the ballpark.
And now McCann, who drove in a run with a single his first time up. Strike one.
You start looking at the home runs. It's going to happen as part of the game, but if you're going to give them up, make sure they're just solo shots and not 2- and 3-run home runs.
Strike two. As Diaz, little mindful of a guy I know you pitched to, an umpire, Tim McClellan, who would verbally call the strike, but do whatever he did with his right arm later than most. And McCann waves at strike three, 2 down.
It would take him forever in a day to get up out of the squat. That's what it was, because he was a big man.
6'6", something like that.
A big man.
Des Moines native. 2 down, and now Evan Gattis. Gattis bounced into a double play in the second inning. Helped keep the damage to a minimum after the Polanco error.
Tyler White kind of has the same batting stance as Evan Gattis also.
Here are the Astros, the defending world champs, and this guy's been their designated hitter. You're trying to, if you're watching this series and you're trying to watch and see where the gaps are between where the Twins are and where the Astros are, we'll just isolate the designated hitter spot. Right now you've got Gattis putting up numbers like that.
Huge numbers.
Well, but all right, 232, 24, 71. Can you imagine Tyler Austin doing that for a full season? Because I can. I think he's got 30 home run power. Gattis has 30 home run power. Bouncer to short. And Polanco over to Mauer. That ends the inning. Another solo home run for the Astros. This one by Gurriel, and it's 4-0. Twins fans down here. The Twins can have a good series against the Astros. In the foreground, someone who probably could care less, and maybe in the background, someone who has got a little more equity in the Twins situation here.
Situation.
Well, we'll see what they can do here. They're down 4-0. Johnny Field will lead things off in the 5th. Ball 1. What was the first big league ball game you went to? Do you remember?
I was 12 years old. Cubs Pirates, my little league team. We went and we sat way up in the right field bleachers.
Swung on and missed by Field, 1-1.
I never went to another major league game until I was actually pitching in one.
Seriously, you only went to one game before you played a big league game?
Yeah, and that was free. You couldn't afford to go see major league ball games.
Swung on and missed, and it's 1-2.
But I can at least say that I had, up until that time, at 12 years old, I had watched 300-400 games by then.
On TV.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because growing up right outside Chicago, I would run home to see the end of the Cubs game, and before it was time to go to bed, I would watch the beginning of the White Sox game.
Field strikes out 1 away. Bring up Mauer, who's got 2 singles. 2 of the 3 hits for the Twins. Mauer with an infield hit, a high chopper that Keuchel knocked down, couldn't find for a while. Mauer just barely beat it out to start the ball game. And he whistled one past Keuchel's beard in the 3rd inning. Over the inside corner. I've told the story so many times. I've watched Twins games on TV in western Minnesota, my hometown of Dumont. And then when I first went to a ball game, it sounds like a cliche, but it was very true. I was just amazed with the emerald green grass because we had black and white TV. That's all I knew. Baseball was played in the color scheme of gray because everything was black and white. And then you get to a ballpark, in this case Metropolitan Stadium, and it was the greenest green I think I'd ever seen. 1-1 to Mauer. And no, I didn't telegraph my friends about it. I'm not that old.
You very rarely or ever hear me talk about someone being old. My grandfather over in Gary, Indiana, he's 92 years old.
God bless him.
And he always said to me, hey, keep saying good morning. You'll get old one day.
Down the middle of strike 2 and 2 to Mauer. Followed by Forsythe in the batting order today.
He's going to try to get Joe Mauer out with a changeup.
Jam shot roller up the middle. Hitting in front is Gurriel. Mauer retired 2 away. Target Field suites are available for single game rental for groups of 16 to 150 plus. You can choose from the intimate Premier Suites, flexible event suites, luxurious Puckett Suite, or the spacious Skyline Suites. No matter which you choose, food and beverages included with every purchase. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com/groups or call 800-33-TWINS to schedule your suite at Target Field. Logan Forsythe walked in the 1st, struck out in the 3rd. Over the inside corner, strike 1. Twins had Keuchel. It looked like they had him on the ropes in the 1st inning. Bases loaded, 2 out. And he got Sano in what will probably be the biggest out of the game unless the Twins can come back and put together another threat.
Keuchel's 76th pitch.
Twins had runners at 1st and 2nd nobody out in the first, and they had Grossman's leadoff double in the fourth, but so far I haven't been able to put one up in the run column. 21 in the first and more moderate amounts since. Faced 6 batters in the first inning.
You know what they say about those good pitchers. You got to get them when. Got to get them early.
Fly ball to right. Reddick has an easy play. 6 in a row set down by Keuchel after Grossman's leadoff double in the fourth. The #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. And by Grand Casino. The best stories start here. Astros got one in the fourth. They've added runs throughout. Now in the bottom of the fifth inning will be Josh Reddick leading things off against Kyle Gibson. 2 earned runs, 2 unearned runs. Strike 1 to Reddick. And then Springer and Kemp will hit here later in the fifth inning. Up and in. Pitch count is such that I'd like to think Gibson could at least get 6 innings in here today. And for part of the second half of the year, it looked like he would reach the 200 pitch count level, but that might not be the case. Twins have projected forward going to use a 6-man rotation, or should we say a 6-spot rotation. There might be different men in those opener spots. Twins will use the opener again tomorrow.
Shall we say it'll be 6 guys to get the bulk of the innings?
6 guys. There'll be 6 different spots in the rotation. Who's filling them? We don't know who the openers are going to be. There'll be 3, right, presumably, that'll make the starts from here on out: Gibson, Barrios, and Odorizzi. 3-1 to the leadoff man here in the Houston.
But it's also safe to say there'll be 6 guys that we know who will be getting the bulk of the innings.
Yes, I see what you're saying.
The bulk of the innings.
Yeah, when we have an opener, then we'll have the primary pitchers.
Yeah, those guys too.
Right.
Yeah.
Gonsalves and Cole Stewart and Zach Littell, who actually pitched fairly well 2 times through the batting order yesterday. That's of course the whole intent, to try to extend pitchers who might have a hard time getting through the lineup 3 times. Full count to Reddick. Hit a fly ball to center his first time up.
Get this leadoff man here.
Poke to left. Little carry to Grossman. Looked like he fought some lights a little bit towards the end there, but made the catch 1 away.
A low line drive, fastball down and away from Gibson. Out to left field, and Grossman. That ball's just in the right where the lights in the stadium on the right side of the field. Ball's in the lights going to the left fielder.
Here's Springer, bouncer to short and a strikeout.
We've seen it before. That ball gets lost in the lights and guys come in, they see it, and now they don't. They'll duck, and next thing you know, you're looking at their number chasing the ball.
Into the shift. Forsythe waiting near the second base bag. One pitch for the second out. You pitch long enough to where you probably dealt with some shifting, right? But, you know, 1-2 innings at a time, whatever. But, I mean, that ball left home plate, and I still fight myself, ball getting by the pitcher up the middle. And you think, well, that's a base hit, but then you forget, no, there's probably, more often than not, there's somebody standing up the middle now who's able to make the play, turn it into an out. I would imagine you ran into that as a pitcher quite a bit, didn't you?
I did, and the best thing about 14 and 15 playing with the Rockies, and Walt Weiss was my manager, and he gave me the option. He gave me the option if I wanted to shift.
Really?
Yes, he did, because it did something to me on the mound. Seeing the game being played one way pretty much my whole career, a ground ball to shortstop, I always thought that should have been an out.
Forsythe glove to glove, a nice play by Logan Forsythe to get the speedy Tony Kemp, and Gibson has his first 1-2-3 inning. App. You can customize your experience to catch every moment this season. Get Twins home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcast, stats, news, and more. Download MLB At Bat today. Jorge Polanco with a couple of outfield flies will lead things off in the sixth against Dallas Keuchel. Up and away, ball one. Polanco, Garver, and Grossman. Again for Keuchel, first 14 starts of the year were so-so, certainly not Keuchel-like, but now in the last 14 starts he's looked much more like the former Cy Young Award winner. 2-0. And there will be a challenge to win the division. Oakland is within striking distance, obviously, 2.5 games back. Tapper to short, and Correa has an easy play, one down. Best thing that's happened to the Astros, not that the A's have caught fire and played pretty much right with Houston, but that Seattle's dropped back. So it looks as if both Houston and Oakland will get in the playoffs. One of them will be a wild card, and no one wants to play in the wild card game. So there is that battle. Garver, the batter. hit the ball to short twice.
Nobody wants to play in that wild card game.
Well, just think of, you know, it's one game. You know, Twins fans know all about it. Off to a 3-0 start last year, and then Irvin Santana had his worst start of the year. Buxton concussed himself, crashing into the center field fence.
And Paxton's back for Seattle.
Yeah, he had a good outing for him.
Yep. I said early in the year, Seattle can get that second wild card spot. They would have to play whoever comes out of the East, and I'm thinking it would have been the Yankees, and I would have put Paxton against any team in a one game winner take all.
But now the Mariners are settling back. Oakland has passed them. It would appear both the Red Sox and Yankees will make the playoff field in the East. Down and away, 1-2 to Garver. And the Astros, because it is all but assured that they'll be in the playoffs, can afford to give Altuve a day when the knee maybe is a little balky. Day game after a night game last night for the Astros. The ball stroked to left, and Garver's got a base hit. Another 2-strike hit for Garver. He's aboard with 1 out. That'll bring up Grossman. See, in the East, the Red Sox almost assuredly will have the best record and home field advantage throughout the playoffs. The Yankees may end up with a better overall record than the Astros, but might have to win that suicide game, the wild card game, to advance. Indians should go to the playoffs as the Central Division champion.
Suicide game. I
Well,
love it. I know. I love it. Great way to put it.
I mean, you just think about any game that's played during the year, and it can be dictated, the outcome dictated by a bad hop, somebody losing a ball in the lights, in the twilight, whatever. Well, that's what you have. You're playing 162 games, and you've won maybe 100 games, 95 games, and your fate, your ability to move forward in the playoffs will be determined by one game, one hanging slider.
I like the two wild cards. I think out of all the things that's changed over the years with the game, I love implementing that second wild card. I love it.
The Twins are a footnote in the development of that game because of the one-game play-ins they played in consecutive years, losing in Chicago, winning at home. TV ratings shot through the roof, and the Wizards at baseball decided, let's see if we can do that every year, and they came up with a format, and I kind of like it too. It was fun last year, even though the Twins lost. Tapper left side, slowly hit, and the throw by White at first base. The ball is in play. Grossman, I don't think he turned his shoulders towards second. He'll return to first, and the Twins will take advantage of an error and maybe get something out of this. Garver advancing to third.
Changeup down and away, 79 miles an hour to Grossman. A little slow tapper to the shortstop and Carrera. Wasn't able to make a good throw. The ball sailed on him.
Should be a hit and an error. A hit for Grossman. And no, they've ruled it just an error. Okay. But Grossman reaches on the air, and Garver gains third base because of the error. And here is Sano. So a couple of frustrating at bats against a guy who's made a career out of frustrating hitters, Dallas Keuchel. And Sano dumps a single to right. Cracked his bat, but he got a run batted in. Coming in from third is Garver, and the Twins are on the board. And now Cave will come to the plate as a tying run. Don't know that that was even Sano's intent to hit the ball to right field, but he muscled it for a single that drove in a run.
It's a good approach. Very good sinker down over the middle of the plate. Didn't try to pull it. He's seen the sinker. He's seen what his teammates have been doing. Have been trying to pull that pitch, and a lot of 6-3s. Just took that ball to right field. And take what the pitcher gives you. And hopefully everybody else is following suit and they can start to make that adjustment.
Cave with a home run in his last 3 games. Now comes up with 2 on and only 1 out. Right down the middle.
Probably the straightest fastball Dallas Keuchel's thrown right there.
And one of the few that Cave has taken.
Keuchel's 91st pitch.
Speed pitch gets a swing and a miss.
There's a slider that you rarely see him throw.
Colin McHugh getting loose in the Astros pen. Don't get much of a break when you get the Houston starter out of the game. Look at that ERA, 1.89.
Well, if you're looking at the ERAs for the bullpen,
Cave strikes out 2 away.
good numbers. The back-to-back sliders to Cave for the strikeout.
Austin is 0 for 2. He's put the ball in play twice. Ground ball up the middle, fielded by Gurriel. Then a tall fly ball hauled in by Kemp.
Changed his game in 1 swing.
Trip to the mound. And Austin's proven enough to make the Astros be careful here. He represents the tying run. Of course, tremendous power. Just missed hitting a home run his last time up. He's got under it a little bit. Grossman at second, Sano at first. In a 4-1 game. Just missed the corner. Ball 1. Missing inside, 2-0.
2-0 count. Can't get overly aggressive because he will throw a changeup and have you out front. Got to be able to make sure if he throws you the fastball, you're able to hit it hard somewhere.
Off the plate. 3-0. Johnny Field on deck. So far they haven't thrown Austin a strike here in a key spot. Field on deck. Twins have a bench of Rosario, who isn't expected to play, Kepler, Adrianza, Astudillo, and Jimenez.
And Keuchel fully understands the situation. Don't have to give him anything to hit right here because he has Johnny Field on deck.
Austin took a strike.
First base open. Well, not open.
Third base is open.
Third base is open. I think he'd rather take his chance with Johnny Field than giving Tyler Austin something he can drive.
Ooh, he might have gotten something there too, and it was fouled over the Houston dugout. 3-2. Runners will take off now. Full count. Sano from first and Grossman from second. Saw a crowd engaged in this key at bat. 3-2 to Austin. Foul back.
That was going with the game plan. Not going to give him anything where he can extend his arms. Everything is in on the hands.
Got him with the changeup. Twins get one, but leave two. It's a 4-1 ball game. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. Indoor baseball. And the Astros have hit a couple home runs against Kyle Gibson. Other than that, he's pitched pretty well here against this lineup. There's 2 earned runs, 2 unearned runs. Bregman, who hit one of the home runs, the first one in the first inning, will lead off the 6th. Bregman, Correa, and White. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss. Not the Brady bunch, but the Bregman bunch. We've had a lot of fun here with this team, which has been very good the last couple of years, and it was essentially a dead franchise just a few years ago with 3 straight years of over 100 losses.
Had some good draft years and went out and added a couple pieces through free agency. The biggest addition was last year was Justin Verlander, and he was able to get over the hump and go to the promised land.
Verlander will pitch tomorrow against the Twins. 1-1 to Bregman. Just inside. It was so bad here. They had telecasts that drew nothing in the ratings. I mean, nothing.
Nothing?
Nothing. They didn't register on television. And now, of course, the ratings are great. Attendance is great. Two and one. Bounce to Sano. Over to Mauer, 1 away. I mean, it was bad at times in Twins territory. You know, when I started, first year I did Twins games was 1983. You pitched a lot in the Metrodome, so you know what it looked like when it was full and what it looked like when it was pretty empty. And the story I tell people is I did a 4-game series at home against Seattle in 1983. And the total paid attendance, tickets sold, not fannies in the seats, tickets sold, was 12,700 for 4 games.
But
just over 3,000 a game.
You know what the promotion was that day? Dress up as an empty seat, get in free.
A lot of people got in free. 4 games and just over 12,000 tickets sold.
Wow.
1 strike.
I remember days at the Metrodome early in my career when I could hear the bullpen phone ringing on the mound.
Yeah. Twins announced that they plan to call up right-handed pitchers Chase DeYoung and John Curtis, and also selecting the contract of Gregorio Petit. So they will be here tomorrow night. 3 additional players. Correa swings and misses, and Gibson's gotten Correa all 3 times. I don't know if you saw it on Twitter, but John Curtis yesterday did a nice job with the national anthem before the Rochester game.
If we do it in AAA, he's going to have to do it at the big league level.
2 down, and now Tyler White. White singled and scored in the 2nd inning. There was a big error by Jorge Polanco on what could have been, might not have been, but could have been a double play grounder, and then the Astros added 2 more unearned runs that inning. Strike 1.
Kyle Gibson is pounding that inside fastball for these right-hand hitters, keeping them honest. So when he does throw that slider, that sweeping slider down and away to them, if they do try to get it, they swing it over the top of it. Because the one thing is in the back of their mind, if he doubles up in, I'm going to be in trouble.
One and one. And just off the outside edge. 2 and 1. Ground. Polanco goes down to a knee, makes the play, and 6 good innings for Kyle Gibson. There might be a 7th in a 4-1 ball game. Twins today.
We talked about Dallas Keuchel in the pregame about what he needed to do to be successful. We talked about his best pitch, which is his sinker. He used his sinker into the right-hand hitters, down and away. He induced a lot of soft contact when guys are beating the ball into the ground. And then he mixed in his changeup and his cutter on the right-hand hitter hands. And that's why he had a successful day at 6 innings, 1 run ball game today.
And was able to pitch his best, of course, with men on base when the Twins had a threat in the first after the leadoff double in the fourth, and again in the sixth to strike out Cave and Austin to end the threat and limit the Twins to just 1 run. Now Colin McHugh will come in for the 47th time, and the first man he'll face is Max Kepler, not Johnny Field. With the right-hander coming in, Paul Molitor goes to his bench and uses Kepler. Outside, ball 1.
Colin McHugh with a 4-pitch mix with a cutter, fastball, curveball, and slider. His fastball straight with some slight arm side run, so the ball is going to away from to left-hand hitters and into the right-hand hitters.
Fouled back.
He's had an outstanding season. He's 5-2 with that 1.89 ERA. And when you know, if you look at the dynamics of the pitching staff of a good team, they always have that lone guy that can bridge the gap when the starter, if the starter doesn't have a great day, to bridge that gap to those late inning guys.
Fouled back, it'll reach the seats. A former starter, he had success as a starter, won 19 games just 3 years ago as a starting pitcher, but he has pitched exclusively out of the bullpen. Free agent after this year, and I would imagine there's a reasonable chance that if he wants to be a starting pitcher and figures the door might be closed here, that he might sign elsewhere as a starter. He's probably would start for any other team except Houston and maybe Cleveland. 1-2.
The key to a good team is you got to have a deep pitching staff. Very deep pitching staff, and they have that here in Houston.
Kepler takes a pitch he thinks was high, but it's a called 3rd strike, 1 down.
Yeah, I'm with Kepler. That's one of those pitches that Laz hadn't called all day.
One down, and now Mauer got 2 singles against Keuchel. Fastball at 94. You're talking about the 4-pitch mix, and then we saw, you know, there's mid-90s velocity left. And
he's going to mix
13, maybe 14 teams in the American League would have him in their rotation, but they're so stacked here. We're striking the outside corner.
So he's going to mix his pitches up. He's going to mix location. You know, it's hard, you know, being a pitcher here in the big leagues when a lot of hitters, you can't repeat pitches in the same location because they're that good. So he's mixing location. He's throwing everything. He's not a guy that's predictable. You don't know what he's going to throw in any specific count.
Tried to tickle the outside corner, just missed. 1-2.
Imagine if he can backdoor that slider, he also can, to the left-hand hitter, he also can throw it at their back foot.
Way out in front of something, 76 miles per hour, 2 down. Replay brought to you by Carrier.
Showed Mauer his fastball, a couple backdoor cutters, sliders, and finished him off with a nice slow curveball that's 76 miles an hour.
Forsythe 0 for 2 with a walk. Fastball. Another strike. Forsythe checking with Raz Diaz too about whether that pitch was high. It was well inside the box. And now outside.
If he gets the ball and gets back on the mound and working at a really quick pace.
Breaking ball over. When he won 19 games back in 2015, he pitched 203 and 2/3 innings. Made 33 starts the next year. ERA ticked up a little bit. Still won 13 games. Some right shoulder problems last year. Forsythe is gone, and Hugh impresses, striking out the side. It is a 4-1 Houston lead as we go to the home half of the 7th. And on this holiday, again, our pleasure to bring you God Bless America.
Rise now and join us as we pause not only to honor our great nation, but to salute those who defend our freedom around the world every day. Please join Miss Monica Pasley for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Alex Bregman gets to scoring started with his 28th home run in the first inning to get Astros a 1-0 lead over the Minnesota Twins. And Yuri Gurriel with his 9th in the 4th gives him a 4-0 lead. And the lone run that the Minnesota Twins have scored so far. Miguel Sano with an RBI single in the 6th to cut the deficit to 3. And there you have it.
See, I feel really bad because they've had a custom here in Houston during the 7th inning stretch. The home radio and the home TV booth is stocked full of Cracker Jacks and peanuts. And the announcers, the ball lifted to right field, playable for Kepler, who's out there now, going away. And the booths for the radio and TV announcers for the Astros are stocked with peanuts and Cracker Jack, and they toss them out to the fans. And the fans sitting right in front of us, they look longingly up here like, you know, we should give them something too. And I don't want them to think poorly of you or me, but we don't have the Cracker Jacks and the peanuts here, so I offered to throw cash, but I thought that would cheapen the whole experience, right? So what we're going to have
You offered to throw a catch. I did.
what we're going to have to do now is, and let's not tell the people at the hotel, we're going to have to come out with like one of those mini bars of soap or something tomorrow to give to the fans. Or a little, hotel shampoo thing or something like that. Because we're not equipped. We got nothing up here. So bring something from the hotel room that we can give to the fans tomorrow and Wednesday.
All right, I get you. Well, how about they bring us something and give us something?
Well, but that's like Cracker Jack and peanuts. McGill and Vasquez getting loose.
I'll take a brat.
You don't look like you've ever eaten a bratwurst in your life.
Don't let the size fool you.
McCann, the batter, Gibson, trying to complete the 7th inning. And that's one thing we've seen too from Gibson. It's one thing to have ability, and he's certainly shown that this year. Really had by far, I think, his best year. But also the durability. He's trying to complete 7 innings, and let's go with the fact that he'll have maybe 4 more starts after today. He would approach 200 innings, and that's in this day and age, that's a big deal for a starting pitcher. McCann looks almost foolish trying to hit that breaking ball. Gibson picks up a strikeout, 2 down.
It's a good slider with 2 strikes at the back foot of McCann, and all he can do is swing over the top of this ball. Starts out like a strike, looking like a strike to him, and it just never stops coming towards his body.
That's the 4th strikeout for Gibson. And right now he has 170 2/3 innings. So if he has 4 starts, let's say he completes 7 here and he gets through 7 starts, he's going to just finish south of 200 innings. And maybe for that last start, if it were at Target Field and there's nothing to save him for, maybe, of course, he has to pitch effectively. We know that. But in this day and age, for a starting pitcher, that's a big deal to get to 200 innings. And Gibson still has some hopes and some chance to get there.
Well, at the rate that the game is changing with the whole opener and primary.
Right.
And you might not see that too many times.
Right. Well, last year in the American League, there were 8.
8 guys.
8 guys from 15 teams that hit 200 innings pitched. Irvin Santana was one of them. 1-1 to Evan Gattis. And it's not just the innings, but it's the effective innings. He's, after the Gurriel home run, he hasn't given up a base runner. That was back in the 4th inning with 1 out. 10 in a row sent down by Gibson against this lineup. In the dirt. 2-2.
To swing at that. A tough check swing and ball. There's probably a ball out of Gibson's hand right there.
Gibson's gone more than 100 pitches in his last 4 starts. If he can get Gattis quickly here, there's a chance he might be sent out for the 8th inning.
You're in the bullpen, and with the type of weekend he had up in Arlington against the Rangers, you get a guy like Kyle Gibson who's going to go out there, and you don't have to worry about taking him out in the 5th or the 6th inning, because he has enough to get you where you need to be.
Another strikeout. Gattis stares at a breaking ball. 7 impressive innings for Gibson, and who knows, there might be an 8th inning left in him today. Yeah, how many can they get this year? What a remarkable year for the Red Sox and first-year manager Alex Cora.
That doesn't sound right. 50 games over 500. Wow.
They're 20 games over 500 on the road. I mean, who does that?
A team that's 50 games over 500 overall.
I guess so, yes. Marisnick has taken over in center field. Springer's moved to right, and Reddick has moved over to left. With McHugh hoping for another strong inning in the 8th. Polanco fouls it back 1-2.
Jake Marisnick, center fielder, probably one of the best athletes on this team. Probably one of the best athletes on the field. Kid's incredible. He can go get it in center field. Plus arm. We'll give you some home runs. He has 9, and he's been up and down from the big leagues to the AAA this season.
1-2. That's to center, and that'll drop in front of Marisnick for a leadoff single for Polanco. And we'll bring up Garver.
A slow backdoor curveball from McHugh. Polanco was able to stay on it and punch that ball in the center field for a leadoff base hit.
Now Garver singled and scored in the 6th inning.
It's the 4th time this afternoon the Twins had the leadoff hitter on.
And they didn't score in any of the other times. The only time they scored is when Garver got his 1-out single and came around. Strike 1.
How many times have you said that in your career? A team was 50 games over 500.
When did Seattle win that year?
116.
16. And the Red Sox on a pace for a similar win total. And of course, on the other end of it, the Orioles are on the verge of losing their 100th. And McGill getting loose. The Orioles started Labor Day 53.5 games out of first place. I haven't said that very often either. Thought I missed 1 and 2. Well, you could have one team at the top of a division winning 113 games and a team at the bottom of the division losing 113. One and 2 to Garver. This game's still very much up in the air at 4-1. Twins trying to take advantage of a leadoff hit now outside, and it's 2-2. Twins took 2 out of 3 from the Astros. The final game involved a walk-off by Max Kepler. A 9-8 victory for the Twins. Two and 2. And an off-speed pitch. Garver frozen, 1 away. They'll bring up Grossman.
There's a front door breaking ball to the right-hand hitter. Garver, he wasn't able to get the bat off his shoulders, and Las Diaz rung him up. He was expecting that breaking ball to do a lot more, but it just hovered around the middle to the inside part of the plate.
Grossman's reached all 3 times. A walk, a hit, reached on an error, and now a foul. Strike 1.
The White Sox, Detroit, have a bad September. They could push in 100 losses. They got 82 losses.
Yeah. Kansas City's already got 91. It's hit to left. Reddick comes in to make the catch on number 2. And bring up Sano. If you're game for a little excitement, head to foxsportsnorth.com, submit a photo and message for the opportunity to be featured in the Minnesota Lottery Winner's Circle during the broadcast and receive $100 in scratch tickets. With the Minnesota Lottery, every day is game day. Sano drove in the Twins run with a looping single to right. Astros had him shifted. He didn't hit it hard at all, but hit it in a good spot. Breaking ball left over the inside corner, taken for a strike. Another one. He swings through that one.
Slider just hovering around the inside of the plate. See McCann set up outside. He had to reach back to get this ball.
When Miguel's going good, either one of those pitches that he just threw are, hit about 400 feet to left. Oh, and 2.
You go with the soft curveball this time.
Pitches up. 1 and 2.
The Astros are a team that like to elevate the fastball with 2 strikes. Just going to go back to the slider. He's trying to hang it.
He's trying. I think he's given him 3 very hittable breaking balls, and Sano hasn't hit one yet.
It's tough. You're looking for it to do a little bit more, and a lot of guys say the best, breaking ball is the ones that back up. They don't do what they're supposed to do. McCann's trying to get him to get that breaking ball down and away.
Fastball's up. 2 and 2.
Now Sano's done a great job not swinging at the high fastball.
Now a trip to the mound. Polanco at first, still there after his leadoff single. Three and 2. Cave on deck. Tony Sipp warming up in the event the inning continues after Sano's at bat. Cave waiting, hoping for a chance. If Sano can reach, the tying run would get to the plate. Twins have actually out-hit the Astros 6-4.
Just hope with Sano being so patient, he can get him something he can drive into the gap or over the wall.
Check swing, and he went on the breaking ball. And the cue got Sano to swing and miss on a check swing. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 8th inning. And he'll start with the number 9 batter, Josh Reddick.
Matt McGill came in on Friday night. He was part of that 5 1/3 shutout with the 9 punch-outs from the Twins bullpen.
Pitched an inning and a third, ended up getting the win in that game. And McGill has pitched well enough to be considered part of the relief corps moving forward, I would think. Breaking ball, missing low, ball 1.
Had a few deals that didn't work out coming into the season, and then you have some that did work out, and McGill is one of those situations that worked out. He has good stuff. Hard fastball, good cutter at 84 to 88 miles an hour. Throws a curveball and has a changeup that he throws occasionally.
1-1 to Reddick. Then Springer and Kemp will hit. With the call-ups of Chase DeYoung and John Curtis tomorrow, there'll be 10 right-handed relievers, 3 lefties for the Twins.
I think McGill has that stat that I like, that we don't hear about a lot. He's not afraid. When he's out there, he is not afraid. Pound the strike zone.
He's had a couple outings since the break that have bloated the numbers a little bit, including 2 outings ago at home against Oakland. An inning, 4 hits, 2 home runs, 3 runs allowed. You know all about that. You have a couple of those over the course of the season. It's hard to recover from that when you're only pitching 50, 60 innings.
Or one and 2 innings at a time.
Right. 2-2. And Reddick bounces it off his leg. Will Harris and Hector Rondon getting loose. Interesting that with 3 outs to go, Roberto Osuna is not one of the relievers warming up. Fly ball left field. And Field is there, or excuse me, Grossman's there, 1 away. Stretch it out on the grass at Target Field for Yoga Night, presented by United Healthcare. Wednesday, September 5th. Participants will receive a Twins branded yoga mat, Twins game tickets, and an on-field yoga class. You can reserve your spot at twinsbaseball.com/yoga. 1 down. Top of the order now in Springer. Springer's 0 for 3. A couple of ground balls and a strikeout. Ball 1.
George Springer used to be the ball boy for the New Britain Rockcats. That used to be our Double-A affiliate.
Used to play catch with Torrey Hunter. Torrey was doing this series a year ago. And Springer related that story to our audience. Pitch is up, and it's 2-0. We talk so much about the relievers that the Twins have that have unique deliveries, and then there's just the standard delivery, I guess you'd call McGill. He just looks like a conventional pitcher. There's nothing too peculiar about his delivery. 3/4 delivery.
Yeah, some people like to call him AR, average righties.
And now ball 4. Springer's aboard with 1 out. Bring up Kemp.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Minnesota Twins and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. and the accounts and description of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
Marisnik will hit his first plate appearance. Tony Kemp left the ball game after his bunt attempt in the 5th inning. Don't know whether there was an injury or any reason for it, just trying to improve things out in the outfield for the Astros with a 3-run lead, perhaps. Check swing and a strike. Astros looking for their 85th win. Polanco out at second and safe at first. Nice play by Polanco. Running toward the center fielder cave. He made the pickup and made the pirouette and the on target throw to Forsythe. 2 away. We'll bring up Bregman. Ball.
Slider hit pretty hard to the shortstop Polanco, but Jake Marisnik runs too well to be able to turn 2.
And Forsythe grateful for the new rule at second base, or he really could have been flattened at second base.
Turning his back to the runner.
Really is. I mean, he had to do a 180 to deliver his throw. Here's Bregman, a home run the first time he came up in the 1st inning, then a walk and a ground ball. Outside ball 1. We've tried to, the game has tried to make life better for middle infielders and catchers since when you started your big league career. You like the rule changes?
No comment. No. My thing with the catcher's rule, if there a play at third base where the catcher has to go down there and
close, barely getting back.
If there a play at third base where things start to get crazy and the catcher has to go cover the bag at third base, he gets to drop the knee on a runner.
Twins are going to take a look at it, and Laz Diaz steps in front of the plate to keep McGill from delivering the next pitch. Let's take a look at this.
Safe.
Just got back. Don't think the Twins will challenge it.
Yeah, but like I said, if something wacky happens where the catcher has to go down to third base to take a throw for an incoming runner, he gets to drop the knee on him and hurt him. He gets to do that. But he has on all the equipment, but you can't run and hit the catcher. You can
if he has the ball.
Right, if he has the ball. But why does he need to be protected? He has on the most equipment. Don't like it.
Runner goes. Garver's throw not in time. It skips into center field. Now Marisnik gets a late start. Cave throwing to third, and that ball gets away from him. May have hit Marisnik as he slid into second base or third base. So it will be a stolen base and a presumed error to Garver. Head first slide. Marisnik a little late in discovering the ball, got by second base. I don't know if that throw hit Marisnik or not, but he'll advance on the throw charge to Garver. Second Twins error. It won't matter if McGill can get Bregman, but the count is 2-0. Strike on the outside corner.
That's a really good 2-0 fastball away from Bregman. Something that really can't do a lot of damage with.
Breaking ball hit the Polanco and the inning. Astros threaten. They leave a runner at third. We head to the ninth. It's 4-1 Houston. Astros trying to repeat as world champions, and they are playing good baseball right now. I mentioned they've played well the last couple of weeks. 9 of their last 12 games have been in the win column. And Hector Rondon will come in to get the save. And he's got really good numbers as a closer. Does everything you want or need a closer to do. He's got a low opponent batting average, 208. Keeps the ball in the ballpark. Only 3 home runs allowed in 51 2/3 innings. Walks are in order. So he gets the call trying to pick up the save. The scheduled batters are Cave, Austin, and Kepler.
It's a great luxury to have as a manager when you have a couple guys that you can call upon to close out a ball game.
Ken Giles was the closer here earlier. He was dealt to Toronto. Rondon closed for a while. They got Osuna from the Blue Jays. Pitch taken by Cave. And it's 2-1. Cave with 2 strikeouts and a ground out so far in the ball game today.
Rondon's fastball is 96 to 99 miles an hour.
Oh my! A line drive right back to Rondon. Cave will reach, and it was Rondon who got up to field the ball, and it apparently did not do any serious damage. We'll wait and see. He's looking at his pitching hand. A wicked line drive off the bat of Cave, and it's a base hit to start the 9th. That was scary because that looked like that was head high. And it appears that Rondon was able to deflect it perhaps with his pitching hand. More chest high, I guess, but I think it got him in the right wrist. 110 miles per hour coming off the bat, and Rondon will come out. A frightening moment, and we'll wish the very best for Rondon. And A.J. Hinch will bring somebody else in to finish this ball game. He hopes in an Astros victory.
Still makes me sick to my stomach.
Oh my gosh, I thought it hit him in the face. I really did.
He did a great job of protecting himself from that ball.
And Harris, who was warming up, and now Ryan Presley walks across the mound. And it'll be Will Harris who will come in to try to pick up the save in relief of Rondon. Out the way he wanted to. He was going to use Rondon in the save situation today, with Osuna getting the save last night. That lasted just a couple of pitches until Cave's blast took Rondon out of the game. So now he'll go to Will Harris, who has 16 big league saves. But if he gets the save here today, it would be his first save of this year.
Will Harris is right. You got to adapt and improvise, and that's what A.J. Hinch has had to do in this ninth inning because of the line drive off Rondon's hand. He throws a 91 to 93 cutter. It's short, it's a late cut, not much depth to it, and a curveball, 82 to 84 miles an hour, with 12 to 6 action. He'll be out there trying to induce a double play somewhere in outfield.
Tony Sipple's warming up earlier. Brad Peacock joins him. Tyler Austin, the batter, and then Kepler on deck. Another leadoff hit for the Twins. And Austin fouls it back. They got a leadoff single in the first, didn't score. Leadoff single in the third, didn't score. Leadoff double in the fourth. A leadoff single in the eighth, and now again here in the ninth. No leadoff walks or errors or anything. They've hit their way aboard, but haven't been able to push runs across when they have gotten that leadoff hit. Fouled away, 2 strikes. A couple years ago, Harris got a dozen saves, pitched awfully well. In his career, an opponent batting average in the low 200s. Not a bad fallback guy. Breaking ball bounced foul of the Twins dugout. Austin with a ground ball, a fly ball, and a strikeout so far today.
He has some arms out there. Badinsky, 398. Harris, 399. McKee, 189. Osuna, 254. Peacock, 305.
Blocked by McCann. Twins now out hitting the Astros 7-4, but the Astros have hit a pair of home runs. The Twins have been limited to singles and 1 double.
You look at their games out of the bullpen, none of their guys are overworked. I think Ryan Presley has the most games out of the bullpen. That's 66, and
most of those were with us.
Right.
1 and 2. 2 and 2. Well, but of course that is because the starting pitching is so good and so durable.
And that's what makes a good bullpen, a well-rested bullpen, especially when you get to late August, September, and it definitely helps into October.
2 and 2. Harris to Austin.
I always thought that, well, I knew that Gardy and Rick Anderson did a great job when we were here. In our years, we had good teams and won the division, of managing our workload out of the bullpen. And you really don't appreciate that when you're here. But when you leave and you see how other teams run their bullpens and how you get ran into the ground, it makes you, very thankful that you started your career with guys who paid attention to the bullpen guys' workload.
I would doubt seriously that Cave would take off here. Austin strikeout prone. Twins down 3 runs, but they throw over nevertheless. 3 and 2 to Austin. Given to right. Retreating is Springer. He makes the catch one away. And they bring up Kepler with Mauer in the on-deck circle. Kepler entered the game in the 7th, was called out on strikes. Johnny Field went 0 for 2 before Kepler entered the game. Up around the hands, ball 1.
Will Harris throws that natural cutter that that is barreling into the left-hand hitter's hands. See if Kepler, he could throw one Kepler can handle, and he can hit some to right field or down in that corner, or even a 2-run shot.
It was Kepler with the walk-off home run at Target Field back in April. It gave the Twins the series win, 2-1. Taken low, 2-0. Kepler, of course, has hit 17 other home runs. Three and 0, Mauer on deck. Twins haven't taken a walk since Grossman took one back in the first inning. They took 2 that inning, filled the bases, but didn't get anything out of it.
Kepler's going to take a strike right here.
And he does, 3-1. And a walk will bring the tying run to the plate. Mauer with 2 singles in the ball game. Mauer's last home run about 2 weeks ago against the Tigers. Got their run in the 6th, could have had more. Had the threat in the 1st, didn't score. See what they can do here with now runners at 1st and 2nd, 1 down. Strike on the outside corner. The ball carries well to left here, and that plays more to Joe's strength than in how it carries to right. 28 home runs in 5 months when he won the MVP, and 20 of his home runs went to left field. So the Crawford boxes, one would think, would be well within his range.
With his swing and his approach to hitting, he can hit the ball a long way to the opposite field.
Taken low, 1-1. I don't know that Joe has ever, even when he hit these 28 home runs in 2009, whether he's ever tried to hit a home run. He just wants to put a good swing on the ball, hit it hard someplace.
Nice
that particular year, so many of them carried over the wall and left at the Metrodome.
Good swing on it, let it just naturally happen, organically happen.
On the outside corner now, 1-2. I thought it was outside.
A tad bit away.
Right there. Good pitch. Now battling with the count, 1-2. Breaking ball got him 2 down, and it'll be left to Forsythe. Too often you'll see Joe strike out in back-to-back at-bats, but he has. And Hinch now to the mound, hasn't signaled, I don't think, for a pitching change. And he will make a change. Harris gets 3 men. And Forsythe will hit against a new Houston pitcher when we come back. comes into the ball game to face Logan Forsythe. Forsythe looking for his first hit of the game, 0 for 3 with a walk. Peacock has a couple of saves, but he has also been much more home run prone than Harris. Peacock with 59 innings pitched, and he's given up 10 home runs. Forsythe has some pop. We haven't seen it yet in the Twins uniform. He hasn't homered. So kind of an interesting choice by A.J. Hinch.
18 walks and 88 strikeouts.
Forsythe walked. He struck out twice. He's hit a fly ball to right. Down and away, ball 1. The home run numbers a little glaring. 59 innings and 10 home runs allowed.
If you're going to give up home runs, you better not give up a lot of hits or walks in front of those home runs.
He inherits 2 runners here. And now he falls behind Forsythe, 2-0. It was necessary because Rondon got drilled somewhere from the pitching hand or wrist. K's leadoff single. Strike taken. Forsythe, a couple of home runs, both for the Dodgers earlier this year. Driven to right, a base hit. Cave to third. He'll be held. And now Polanco will come up with the tying run on base. And 2 away. In the inning, 2 hits and a walk. In the first inning, it was 2 walks and a hit.
Good at bat right here for Logan Forsythe. Just stayed on a fastball that was middle away. Didn't try to pull it. Shot that ball in right field for a base hit. Bases loaded.
And Polanco singled his last time up.
Brad Peacock from Palm Beach, Florida, drafted in 2006 in the 41st round.
Down and in a ball. Trevor Hildenberger getting loose in the Twins pen in case we have a bottom of the 9th. Houston outfield defense as Hildenberger gets loose. The outfield defense in the no doubles alignment, meaning they're all playing deep, trying to cut the ball off to keep Polanco from hitting a game tying double. Not sure what Les Diaz was just gesturing.
It's probably telling that just that noise that we hear. Somebody screaming.
Pointing to both dugouts and up here. Strike called, 1-1. Bases full of Twins. Rosario unavailable to pinch hit here in the 9th inning. Time called with 2 outs. All the runners, of course, but just focusing on Forsythe for a moment. He can leave with the crack of the bat. So if Polanco can find some room out there for a double, he might tie the game.
You're reaching for a double. I'm looking for a grand slam.
On the inside corner, it's 1-2. Dangerous pitch to a hitter who loves to pull that inside fastball. That's right where Polanco likes it, and he took it for a strike. Driven to the corner, but foul. A hooking line drive that, had it stayed fair, might have tied the game. I think that fastball might have been very close to the one that Polanco just took.
Looked like the identical same pitch. Polanco said, I'm not going out. I'm going out just looking at that pitch again. I'm going to take a good whack at it. So McCann's setting up away, and he keeps pulling the ball across the middle of the plate. And that's a recipe for disaster.
Breaking ball hooked down the line, and that one's foul. Well, Polanco's been on both pitches. He's just been a tad early. That ball hit with some authority as well. All right, fastball didn't work, and the curve didn't work.
He does throw a split finger, 81 to 83 miles an hour. I'm not confident he's in it to throw it in a situation like this, not being its best pitch.
Got him with a high fastball. And the Astros win for 4-1. Twins left bases loaded in the first and in the ninth. And Anthony LaPanta, the Twins will look back at this game as a game of missed opportunities.